Second update that I do have for you, and this is to do with the floods out in Joburg City. Now, Joburg City and the infrastructure over there, we've just noticed that Cyril Ramaphosa is very, well, claims to be quite infuriated with the Gauteng Premier, which is Panyaza Lesufi, and he's been saying that Joburg is in a heck of a state and the whole province as itself is in a state. He just wakes up now because we have the G20 summit coming up, and of course, I think he's just embarrassed to say, and of course, strangely enough, that everything is just the infrastructure in South Africa as a whole, for one. I think with the exception of Cape Town, I've not been there lately, but the whole overall just infrastructure all around here in the city of Johannesburg has been greatly disturbed, and the storms didn't help anything much. And this just brings me into the one episode 18 that I had in Calling of a Ravenous Bird, where I spoke about the brewing storm, and what God is doing in terms of shaping everything. And, as from the main depiction and the articulation of the vision that he had given to Brother Francois de Vet from Changing Paradigms, he had given me an interpretation that the storm itself is the rains and the strange weather patterns going into that. So what is also going to lead to this, and what is actually going to come of all of this, and what's going to lead to, is the fact that the infrastructure that has not been maintained by the ANC government for the last 30 years that they've been in actual position of power and everything, and they've just not done any due diligence as far as maintaining the standards for even the roads, for example. But having said all of that, the main thing is the stormwater drainage that is not working very well because of the pollution that is still, that is of course partly to do with us not doing our part as citizens, but essentially the ANC having all these workers and these municipal workers, and they're not doing their part in terms of maintaining the sewage systems. And what it's going to lead to, and it's also tying in with one of the prophecies I was given, but this was in particular to the East Rand. Now we've seen the floods hitting the West Rand quite recently, right in the Roodepoort area around there in Johannesburg. What I was shown there was the highway leading from Bedfordview past Edenvale, heading all the way up to Benoni, that the N12 is going to be filled with crocodiles. I know when I said it, I was like, I couldn't believe all of this, and I'm saying that I'm putting this out there as a prophecy because it seems like my imagination is running wild, but God is quite capable of it, and it's quite biblical that he sent animals to do things at weird stages. For instance, when he sent the pheasants to the Israelites out in the desert, and of course he had sent the bears to attack the children who were taunting the prophet Elisha, for one. So he's done that. It's something that he's very, very capable of. And even the one prophet who disobeyed him and listened to the lying prophet, or the prophet of Baal, and then a lion was sent through to kill him. Just to put it out there. So he can do that, because how he even illustrated to me, and I was just wondering, is what I'm seeing true or not? He had given me another dream, but this had to do with a big cat. As in, those tigers, lions, whatever it was, and one that attacked a dog. And this had to do with, it was actually, when I had this vision within a dream, I saw this big cat attacking a dog, and it was happening out in the East Rand, and I was by Baragwanath Hospital. And I'm thinking, but this is so linking me to my childhood, because I did spend some years living in a place called Spruit View out in the East Rand. And of course, and by Baragwanath, we used to go to a place by Walkerville to get our fruit and vegetables. So I was wondering, what does this have to do with this? Needless to say, about a few months after that, there was a tiger escape out in the East Rand. And then at the same time, there was another tiger escape, which happened out in Walkerville, in the fruit farms, where we used to purchase. So the link to my childhood is all there, and I'm thinking, okay. No, God means serious business. And the funny thing is that nobody worked out to date as to how those tigers got out. And because of the fact is that you would have thought, okay, fine, if it had been out in Walkerville, you would think that, okay, maybe the ploy was, if it was thieves or it were a bunch of thieves and everything, they were just trying to make sure that the tigers escaped so they could raid and pretty much rob the place. But that's not the case. And I thought to myself, maybe it was the angels who had something to do with the breaking in or the breaking out and people keeping wild exotic cats in the neighborhoods. Needless to say, I've already caught that up in the previous update. And, as far as pretty much keeping in tune and keeping my finger on the pulse with these prophecies that I've been given. But essentially, the crocodiles will pretty much infest the waters or the storm water drainage there in the East Rand. So this is an urgent call that people please just be careful with your travel, and particularly around the East Rand. And I know it sounds crazy and everything, but listen, rather safe than sorry. Check out the channels, check out everything else over here, and check out the podcast just in general, and you'll see that, is this really a crazy man just speaking? Because where is this crazy man, so to speak, getting all of this information if it's not from the true living God? So I'm just leaving that one out there. Another update coming soon.